Bikers for Trump. They came to Phoenix to show support for their president, and they said to stop protesters from harassing those who wanted to attend the rally. Charlottesville is still fresh in the memory. Two radically opposing visions for America clashed. Blood was spilled. People died.
We don't want to see anybody get hurt, you know.
The bikers condemned white supremacists and neo-Nazis. So eventually did Donald Trump. But he was slow and equivocal. Many saw in him a president who emboldened racists.
And for all of us here, Father, to go and protect people from threats of violence from protesters. And Father, would you say?
But America is in the grip of a cultural war so polarizing, you might wonder whether the two sides lived on the same planet.
Obama, for the last 8 years, has emboldened people to come out and be violent because there's been no consequences for any of it. And he's telling people, you know, that the only person in the world that can be a racist is a white man. You know, I mean, so yeah, it concerns me that that's the atmosphere in the country today.
Off camera, one man told me he hated black people. On camera, others rejected the Ku Klux Klan. They were more reticent, but no less angry.
I think they're trying to start a civil war, to be honest.
Who is?
The government.
Why?
I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah, I'll be the first to take up arms, man.
What do you mean?
Take up arms for my country. You know, if they come down on our soil, I'm ready to defend it. That's just the way I look at it. All these other liberals now are all goody-goody, and they want everybody just to, you know, oh this and oh that, you know. But you know what? Nothing ever gets done. It's all talk. It's all behind doors. We need to bring more stuff out, get things more done.
And do you think Donald Trump is getting things done?
Slowly, yes, he's trying. I believe that he's really trying. He's got to clean up the mess before he can, you know, he's got to clean up the parking lot to make it look good.
Shame on you! Shame on you!
In downtown Phoenix, protesters gathered throughout the sweltering afternoon as they watched Donald Trump's supporters arrive.
Shame on you, racist! No Nazi sympathizers! Get out of here!
Each side taunted the other across a police cordon designed to prevent a repeat of Charlottesville.
If you get shot by a police officer while resisting arrest, you might bleed out and die.
It's really extraordinary that a visit by a sitting president, with all the respect that Americans have for that office, can produce this kind of reaction. But the gulf now between this side and that side is so great, it's very hard to see them finding any kind of common ground at all.
USA! USA! USA!
Both sides invoke those same three letters. But in Trump's America, they're having trouble agreeing on what USA should actually mean.
Do any of you have any understanding about where the people on the other side of the barricades are coming from? You do? You do? Raise your hand if you do. You have family, right? Tell me about that.
They feel very strongly that what Mr. Trump began with, the ideas about the economy, meant something and that he could make change. And they, I don't think, are willing to now say, that's not working, it's backfiring and it's turning into a campaign of hate. And we're having trouble talking to each other. So if that's happening in my own family, I'm pretty sure that a lot of people over there are having those same kinds of emotion.
Arizona has some of the most relaxed gun laws anywhere in the United States, and on both sides, weapons were paraded in plain sight.
I'm an American. I was born and raised.
There were some angry confrontations, but no violence between Donald Trump's supporters and his detractors. His presidency may be divisive, but it is also invigorating political debate.
Trump's getting nothing done. The only thing he's signed is legislation to take away
you're
what
wrong
Obama
there
did.
because he's signed
I'm
more.
right.
You're wrong.
Inside the conference center, the president was on classic form. Untethered from the teleprompter, his routine is a compelling hybrid.
He didn't say it fast enough. He didn't do it on time. Why did it take a day? He must be a racist. It took a day.
Part stand-up comedy, part demagoguery.
But the very dishonest media, those people right up there with all the cameras.
He spent much of the rally quoting selectively from his own response to Charlottesville while accusing the media of doing exactly that. This was Donald Trump in his element, with all his contradictions, and his audience loved him for it. By the time it was over, night had fallen. The protesters were still there, and the police presence had increased.
There were slaves before America.
There were more heated arguments, detailed debates about race, crime, and statistics.
You're holding the numbers, and you're lying.
No.
You're reading them, and you're lying.
Look at the percentages per capita of their representation in the United States.
It's about total.
No,
Yes,
it's
it
per
is, 'cause then
capita.
But trouble came not between supporters and opponents of the president, but between protesters and the police.
You have a responsibility, not to him, but to us.
Officers said the anti-Trump demonstrators threw rocks and bottles. They responded with tear gas, pepper spray, and flashbangs.
Kids! Go!
Well, the police are advancing now. All the people from the rally have been led away, and this is now between the police and the anti-Trump protesters.
It took several hours to clear the streets. Acrid clouds of tear gas lingered as the protesters dispersed. It was heavy-handed, but they'd kept the peace. The day ended without serious violence, but with divisions as entrenched as ever.